scan here and there, which HSL and Out of My Game both showing, the McCree and the Ashe here. So the teams have DPS, which is incredible.
Yeah.
HSL probably going to switch off because they currently have 3 DPS. There we go. FD God goes up for the Mercy, but we are just playing with Hammond right now. This is hopefully to overpower, create a large amount of crossfire onto Out of My Game, but first that crossfire has to be gained, which means that Chubbs has to create a lot of space as this solo tank.
And I mean, he's doing that already single-handedly. The entirety of Out of My Game just runs away from Chubbs. They're terrified of the hamster.
Yeah, well, they have to switch. So they put way fast over to Sombra, deny Chubbs finding that much space. So if he ever comes into their face again, he will just get hacked, which is kind of sad to say the least. Olo goes over to the Genji as well as to kind of do a little bit damage towards A10 and Tech 36.
Oh, Frogy, A10! The triple dink to completely remove the Winston. OMG, man, you gotta back out. Without your Winston and dive, you might as well just shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, just shoot yourself in both feet. Like, you're not going anywhere without your Winston at all.
Oh my.
Sardis finding Cass as well. He's just caught out a little bit out of position. But let's look at the percentage already, Rian. We got 26% and climbing. Olu's going to get caught out as well. Let's even get to safety as fast as possible. It's just incessant, and this is what the triple DPS brings. It is that incessant pressure.
Yeah, HSL right now, they're the bouncer at the front of the club. OMG, they're just not cool enough to come in, but way fast going to be able to sneak his way in, secure the hack onto Sardis here. He's going to be melted down now by Progi, so the Pharah is out, but FD God using the Valkyrie gets hacked as well. Won't be able to use that aerial mobility flying around. Hedon, though, does find Progi, and they're trading back and forth on the point. Out of My Game does flip it around for a brief second here, but Tech 36 will be finished off by Twools after getting that pick. And now you're seeing Out of My Game just cleaning up on the last of this point. But there's an EMP from Hedon here, maybe a last-ditch effort, and he does secure the kill into way fast. They might be trying to turn this around. All the members of Out of My Game that are left on the point are very, very low. Progi finds Hedon. Sardis is returning to the fight along with FD God on the Mercy with the barrage as well. Seems to be backing up for the time being, waiting for Chubbs, and Sardis finally does finish Progi off. So it will be the recap from HSL, but 30% about given to Out of My Game.
Yeah, it's just Olu now remaining. He has to back out. Nanoblade will be coming back.
Oh, never mind.
He wants to get the Dragon Blade, but there's so many mines on the floor. He's not going anywhere.
And then here's the barrage as well. Just to finally maybe end this fight. HSL gets the cap. Man, these teams, they just don't want to give up.
It's like, this is my point. You ain't taking it. We're coming back. I was like, you know, just get way fast his EMP, and then you can come back in the next fight, walk into it with Hedon on his EMP. But yeah, you're right. They just did not want to stop. It's just brawl central over here.
It's like two little children fighting over their favorite fire truck toy. You know, they don't want to give it up. Way fast pops the EMP, catches 3 members, especially the Far Mercy and FD God. You see that health bar just drop. Now, no res available for HSL. They actually have no healers because they're only running that solo support, and Stardust gets picked off with the bomb as well. OMG, they got the man advantage. They just got to move on to the point and actually do something with it.
Why? I feel like the observers are kind of biased towards looking at Tech 36's Widow, which is admittedly not great. So I don't know if the observers are having a little bit of fun with that, just showing us all the shots he's missing. Chubbs will be going down second. He's been hacked pretty much every fight with our new UI over here. We can see exactly what's going on. But we do have a Valkyrie coming into this next fight, as well as an EMP on top of it. Wayfast doesn't quite have his yet, so potentially has something going on there. We do have a black screen right now.
Yeah, well, we saw HSL. They were swapping up to the codes composition going to running Out of My Game here, but he then hacked as well. Again, such a good target, that Zen.
Did we just go forward in time, Rian?
I think we did. I think we're time travelers or something. We went back to the future. I don't know what's going on, but anyways, we're in this next fight. Kaz here, he's got the nano boost. Can toss it out of one of his tanks. Brogy's got the primal rage as well. It's a big opportunity for either team to really take this. It's going to depend on this, but out comes the nano boost. Hedon with the Discord's all going to be that target, but the nano blade comes in. He's going to get charged. Oh, he's able to stay alive. Somehow the EMP gets popped as well from way fast, catching A10 and Sardis both. Olu did finally fall, though couldn't really find a whole lot of value. Again, came out of the charge right into the Brigitte. You know, it's the way of the road here as a DPS in 2019, especially in this GOATS meta. HSL Esports just cleaning up all of those kills Out of My Game. Stopped for the time being.
Progi will potentially get back to the point on the Hammond, but it's 96% in climbing. Someone's got to hit it and hit it quickly. But Hidani has the Transcendence. You got a self-destruct sequence as well as. I think even if OMG got back to the point, they weren't really retaking them. Yeah. We did go in the future as well as, which is cool. We have a time machine now.
That's pretty sick, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't think Contenders had a time machine, but I guess they do.
That's very, very impressive that we've found the technology, and the government, we finally stopped them from getting their hands on it first. No, we finally get to say Contenders Trials EU gets the first time travel ever to be done, ever. How impressive is that?
They were fighting so much, it must made some sort of conflict in the time continuum, which went forward. But now we're looking at both teams. We're on Lighthouse here, and I'm not sure I like the comp that OMG are running. I've seen this before, and really what HSL running here is the Goats composition. They're going to sit on point, and because there's not many angles to attack the point with the fire, as long as you can just speed straight onto it as soon as the point opens up, and use good shield manager, good diva matrix, the fire's not going to do anything. We're once again traveling in time. Oh no, we're not. No, Stardust made the switch onto the Roadhog. Okay, cool.
All right.
It's like we blink our eyes and then it's back.
They're just long blinks, is what they are. The screen's actually not going black. But anyways, you're seeing
your eyes.
HSL moving on to the point here. Stardust on that Roadhog, looking for the hooks, but Proki will secure that first kill onto A10. HSL, once you've lost that Zarya, all the bubbles, so much damage mitigation lost. They don't have the Diva for the Matrix. So HSL, they're just gonna kind of be falling apart here. Out of my game though, they're kind of playing this slow, it seems.
Yeah, and this is exactly the way that they should be playing this, but HSL Esports, they are still on the point, still going strong, but they found the cracks in the armor, and OMG will take them down. They have a lot of ultimates to spare as well, and I think that's just down to HSL. I don't like the pick of the quad tank.
Yeah, you know, I'm so used to seeing Ghosts. I actually did not even see the quad tank. I didn't even see the Diva on the field, but I'm retracting my previous statement. They do have the Diva for the Matrix, but again, quad tank, a little interesting.
I kind of understand it, because obviously what's a Brigida going to do here other than stop Progi from diving? So here you have a little bit more pressure on the skies with the hook, as well as you can pull Progi in, but it's 6 ultimates you're going against. Already Tex36 is bionated.
Yep, and here we got the 7v6 on the field, and Olu just drops from above and catches FD God with that Stardust, trying to turn things around with a whole hog in the corner. Does get rid of the Bob of way faster. Now it's a good old even fight, but HSL, they're already losing members. A10, of course, the one to die. Hedan going to be next. Chubb's very low. Nice crossfire here from out of my game. Almost got the boop. Did get onto Tech36. Wow. There you go. Hit it with the basic rocket.
Olu going out huge. Just 4 kills from there. Not bad at all. I really what HSL Esports wanted, they wanted to get a couple of ultimates online and ready to go and force a couple out of my game. But unfortunately, because this fight took so long and how quickly Ash and Farah find their ultimates, they could use Barrage and Bob to be in the fight, and they'll have them ready and available for this next one too.
Yeah, that's crazy. Proki gonna start things off as well, trying to secure some environmental kills on the point, but he's gonna get shattered. Almost finished off. Catches the Nenebus just to keep himself alive, and Stardust gonna be a casualty to the bomb. FD God will get booped off the map by Olu as well, who then gets the team back, and then Chubbs, he's like, hey, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me, Twills.
Yeah, Twills gets taken down off the map, charged out of there. It's not going to give them too much advantage, seeing as Twills probably gets back to the point quicker than Chubbs does with boosters. 85% on the clock. It looks like OMG are looking to tie this one up 1-1 here. HSL Esports, they're going to have a grab. Unfortunately, OMG have a team that can split up so heavily. Look, no one's in the same place. Grab's not going to find a huge amount of potential here, so it's down to FD God to keep him alive through this. But he goes down.
Yep, that's not going to happen anytime soon. FD God again, the target of the justice from above by Olu. There's a recap by HSL as Progi does fall to Sardis here. And there's going to be a reset from out of my game as well. Tactical jumping off the map altogether.
They actually made it back on. And you know, Rian, actually, holding onto that sound barrier might be a boon in disguise.
Yeah.
Hidan definitely going to switch over to Zenyatta here. Knows they needed to break the shield coming through. It doesn't matter if he got Coalescence. He knows he needs to switch right now. FD God, sound barrier is going to keep them in this one for a little bit longer. Sardis also coming up towards this whole hog, which on the point can be devastating.
All right, yes, absolutely. But there is a recap from out of my game here. Somebody's got to get another point. Okay. We're able to touch it in the nick of time. FD God drops the beat, but it's not enough. Still, kills are coming in for Out of My Game. However, you're starting to see the momentum kind of turn around. Tech 36 gets the kill. F God, and he dead as well. And that is going to be Out of My Game. Being pushed back again. HSL will hold strong.
I don't think Tech 36 needed to use the ulti there. Sardis also, he's going to switch back over to Brigitte. He knows he needs to be on that.
Yeah, back in Brig jail.
Yeah,
back in Brig jail.
Olu's providing so much potential to his team right now. Not only having the rally, but the inspire as well as inside those close quarters where it is a 15-meter radius. Like, it's getting so much value.
All right, Chubbs holding on to the shatter as well, and he's gonna toss it down, but can't find anybody. Actually, Cass is found, and he then will secure that kill onto his counterpart, but Chubbs is isolated because of that shatter, and Twolz will secure the melee. The shatter gets dropped, but nobody was caught from that. Frogy could not find anybody. 90% of the point and counting for HSL Esports. He then gonna pop the Transcendence, but A10 still falling to Twolz. Was not quite in time to save his life. And we're just watching way fast right now, trying to build up to this Graviton Surge and hope that it's not gonna get eaten. And now with Tech 36 out of the picture, out of that mech, he's gonna move outside, Meltdown. He then finish Tech 36 off. Recap it for Out of My Game. We're gonna tie things up 1-1, going to map 3.
That's actually really unfortunate. Hidan did a great job to stay alive there. He's on about 10 HP towards the end, about 2% away from Transcendence. A10, obviously you see that just towards the end of the map there, had 80% left remaining towards his Grav. And I think if they got the Transcendence off, they had a good chance of winning that last fight versus OMG. But overall, it just seems like HSL and OMG to some extent are a little bit slow to adapt to what they're going against right now. Ults are thrown in a little bit willy-nilly, not finding huge amounts of value, but now we're going over to Right, which has a pretty standardized way you want to play it, and this is getting people in the middle of the map.
Yep, getting people in the middle of the map in more ways than one, trying to get everybody into that well. That's why you see all these boop characters being played. Lucio, Pharah, and I suppose Brigitte. Maybe Winston too if you count the Primal Rage.
Yeah, the point is also massive. So you really need these high mobility characters to move across from one side to the other, which is why the speed boost is so important.
Right, and that's why Lucio play is going to be big here. And Out of My Game not actually running this, opting instead for the Farm Mercy as well as the Ana and Olu. It's going to pay off for Out of My Game as well as they secure 2 quick kills. Olu, just a monster on this Pharah.
Yeah, he's popping off there. We saw him on the Genji and he made the switch with the Pharah, and it seems like the correct decision because he, like you said, he's popping off.
Going completely insane, and HSL, they're still trying to push, but already a barrage just to get all that extra damage in there. Out of My Game will get the first cap, and Chubb's trying to jump into the well, but Frogy is going to stop him before he gets the chance.
One thing I haven't talked about yet is Chalky Milk. Like, this guy's a pretty new player. Obviously, he played back in Augmented Authority alongside Cass, but he's pretty new to Contenders Trials, right? And so far, the way he's been supporting Olu is absolutely incredible. He's never been in danger, but he's always there to protect Olu when it counts. Right, and we saw the Sombra, of course, and that did a great job of shutting down FD God on the Mercy, and right now we're not seeing that from HSL, so Olu and Chalky Milk just flying around, away fast goes it down by a melee there from Tech 36. Primal Rage popped as well from Chubbs. Out comes the Valkyrie, but Tech 36 on that aerial Pharah chase with the Diva, gets the booster kill. Chalky Milk will res way fast though, so they will have their DPS, and they turn it around in the blink of an eye with a triple and make it a quad kill. Froggy catching 2 with a Primal Rage. Big fragger. Yeah, they turn it around in a long blink of the eye, right? And we had a couple of those during that game, and we're having it again right here. And I think the huge problem there during that, actually, it goes to the very beginning of the fight, is Hidan went down first, and Coalescence versus his composition that OMG are playing is so important because it puts so much threat and pressure on the Pharmacy in the sky, right? Because you can basically Coalescence down Mercy. And you're seeing Olu trying to follow up on it for the time being. He's going to move in, gets the nano boost. Chubb's gone, A10 as well. Double kill onto the 2 tanks. Olu finding so much value with every single one of these barrages. It's crazy, but the sound barrier still dropped here from FD God. HSL still looking to push this even down a few members. Bob going to be thrown out as well. HSL Esports might be trying to draw out as many ultimates from Out of My Game as possible, but that comes at a risk because you let the supports build up their ults as well. Over time on the point now, FD God does move way fast Bob into the point, and Out of My Game, they're just cleaning up these kills left and right. HSL throwing bodies onto the point, trying desperately to contest,
but it's going to go 100-0 to Atomai game, taking Ilios 2-1. You know, pretty close series overall.
Yeah, OMG playing really well. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here. I think they had a little bit of difficulty come Ruins, where they were playing a bit more tank-heavy compositions, but as soon as Wayfast and Olu, both known to be very good DPSs, got onto those roles, they were doing a huge amount of work. And
Right.
I've got to give credit to the tank line as well, Riam, because without them, you wouldn't see as much of the space being given to Olu to make those big barrages.
All right, LaFon, let's bring you back in as well. Talk about some of the things you noticed there. What went well for Atomai game? What let them win this?
Okay, well, I'm glad you clarified that at the end there, because I was gonna say they won the point. That's what actually went well for them. But actually, what ended up going well is that the Pharah was completely uncontested throughout the entirety of that map, right? You know, the Pharah, you expect the combination of D.Va and Moira to kind of put a little bit of pressure on the air. And Tech 36 just really couldn't. There was no real space for him to go in, and unfortunately, that means that the Pharah has free reign, direct rockets for days, and we know how much damage that does. So, for sure, that is one of the honestly largest reasons that Ilios went the way it did.
And it's odd there as well, right? Because you would generally want to pick up a sniper in that situation. We saw Tech 36 try and play the Widowmaker. It wasn't as impactful as they might have hoped. So those fights come well. What they want to do is just ignore the fire, right?
The problem too is there though, is that you've got the problem too is you've got the hit scan pressure on the side though. You can't just focus on the Pharah, because then Wayfast is gonna hit you in the face over and over with the Ashe, right? So it's a no-win situation there, and we kind of talked about this also. Like, we highlighted that comp as being strong for a reason. You've got two lines of pressure that provide so much. TNT, the dynamite from Ashe, and just the sheer spam from Pharah, plus the hit scan ability, of course, of the hero. That's a lot of damage coming down range.
Man, to show you the power of this composition, I saw this team in half. That's pretty much what we saw there. Wayfast and Olu popping off on both of those roles. We're going to be moving into map 2, going to be King's Row, different flavor, different style of map.
Yeah, it's a different style of map completely. I think this is much more linear, and it's one that enables large compositions like Reinhardt's area, because you can lay down an Earth Shatter down just Main Street, right? Because there's no place where you can go off to the left or right. It's very enclosed, as you can see on your screen right now. It just opens up for easy grabs, easy shatters. So whoever's the Rhine, whoever's the Zarya is gonna have a good time on this map. But HSL, something needs to happen for them, Rian, because at the moment they're not dealing and not adapting correctly to the comps on the other side, and just letting OMG get away with things they necessarily shouldn't.
Right, that's the difficult part, right? Is you got to know when to adapt and how to adapt as well. You got to really be playing the mental game of, okay, they're playing this composition, they're holding here, how do we counteract that? Do we have to switch up our composition? Who are we swapping? Because then you might lose ultimates, right? If that does happen. A lot of factors.
A lot of factors indeed. There are so many. It's like a very long recipe. We're gonna see OMG holding on the high ground here and taking it first. They will probably drop down as soon as HSL Esports make towards the point, but they're gonna go for a hotel. A long push through. Progi drops down with the car.
And watch Wayfast here on the Sombra, trying to farm up that EMP as soon as possible, but Froggy gone instantly. And with Olu, the bread and butter of the GOAT's composition. If we're talking food, talking recipes here, they're going to be dropped off first. That will be the cleanup for HSL. They will cap the point right off the bat, making a statement.
I think it's actually great work from A10 actually on HSL there, is because you saw both times, as soon as the team got bionaded, he was there with his protective and his own self-barrier to cleanse that completely out of the way, making sure they were unhindered. Really here, HSL Esports, they've got to push forward though. They cannot let OMG get back on this point, get some more ultimate charge going for them.
Right, and especially they want to hold forward here if you are out of my game, because you want to prevent that payload from moving for as long as you possibly can. Very, very low members on both sides, and you're going to see the rally pop. Froggy, again, the first target. Olu as well. HSL Esports, they've got their target prioritization down pat. They know who to go for first.
And that comes down to Sardis just being alive longer than Olu there. He was able to pop the rally, and that just shifted momentum in the favor of HSL Esports. They could kind of just run at OMG, and OMG's like, oh, okay, I guess we go back now. But yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. It's giving more
A10, what are you doing?
It's giving more opportunity for A10 and Chubs to pop off because we're now on King's Row, which is nice to see. Way fast and Olu back on these more GOATS compositions where they seem not to be so favored.
Oh, A10 just tosses it right into the backline, catches everyone. The quick wipe for HSL. They did not even hear that coming. A10, so very sneaky. You'd think he was playing the Sombra.
You would do. I mean, he's basically purple at that moment. I didn't see it coming at all. The guy was setting up for it though. It was very nice. Coming from behind, making sure that the Diva Matrix wasn't in the way when it came through. Unless Twalls is a god and has reflexes of a cat, there is no way he's swinging that Matrix round. 5 minutes 43 though, Rian. That's a time bank. That's a time bank. Yeah, it's considerable.
That's a time bank that you can definitely go to the bank with, and you could turn that in, and they'll be like, wow. Got a lot of money, but probably gonna get the first kill here onto FD God, and Chubbs found as well. Chubbs is going down with the shatter, but it's okay that HSL loses this fight because again, they have so much time on their hands.
Yeah, they're moving into that one with the rally, so they will have like a lot of the armor underneath the shields at the moment, which is going to be a little bit more difficult for HSL to move into it. So kind of just wait for Sardis to get towards his rally as well as they could potentially use an aggressive sound barrier here to move into Out of My Game. I would not be unhappy with it.
Yeah, look at that Froggy taking so much damage.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant eat there on the Graviton Surge there. Froggy, again, you notice his health, he's always low health, he always has to be backing up, and that's why HSL are winning this fight so far, getting aggressive, pushing in, isolating members. Olu again was found. Twalls there was isolated as well right in the midst of HSL. And that's a great thing HSL is great at doing, is they're finding members and splitting them off from the team and dealing with them on their own terms. A10 with another grab.
I'm really happy with Hidan and FD God separately so far, but layering in the two ultimates there, maybe a little bit of a mistake here might hinder their time bank a bit if Wayfast can get back into this one. Kaz has a transcendence of his own, so he needs to get that one out as soon as A10 drops down this Graviton. Hopefully Twalls can show us a bit of the same.
And again, the danger here is you don't want to let Chubbs farm his shatter off of this as well, because if he can farm it, it doesn't matter if you have the transcendence.
That's a massive charge!
Oh, a beautiful charge. It's like watching poetry in motion. Tech 36 with a double kill to follow up on that. That's a full team effort there from the HSL. And Chubbs tosses down the shatter as well to clean up. It's just Chalky Milk left doing his best, but it's just not enough. He's taken down. A brilliant block as well. Chubbs on fire on this Reinhardt right now, trying to push it all the way to the end. Way fast, tosses in the Desperation Graviton to draw out Hidon's Transcendence here. Olu found as well. It's all stagger picks. OMG, they're just looking for the time at this point. They have no chance of winning this fight, barring some miracle. You're seeing them members dropping like flies right now. Blank and the
Progi.
The boop will finish things off. HSL finishes with an insane time bank.
No, it shouldn't be called a fatty shaddy. It should be called a chubby shaddy because Chubbs, man, he's on fire right now. There's a massive charge to open up for the self-destruct sequence. Immediately flicks around, gets a nice shatter onto the backline, and then flicks the shield and blocks the Reinhardt shatter. That is an insane set of plays from Chubbs right now. So
yeah, Chubbs. Big Ryan energy right now. You know, they're no longer fatty shaddies in this lobby. They are chubby shaddies.
It's gotta be. It's like it's the only other option right now. I'm loving it. But Out of My Game, they had a good run on Ilios on that control map where sometimes, DPS are a little bit more favored. They're given a little bit more time to work with because there is Crossfire available. I think Crossfire is definitely something that can be done on King's Row. We saw it in World Cup, South Korea versus United Kingdom. Fleder was really playing well on that Farah. But it seems that OMG are not trying to go for that sort of thing here. They just want to try and get that GOATS composition going. I think they'd be probably better off trying to go for Farah Ash, you know?
And, you know, one of the things I've noticed is that Out of My Game, they're not at all afraid to run the Sombra. Way faster than the Sombra on the defense and now on the offense.
Yeah. It's definitely tough here. OMG, they have to come out now. And I think Wayfast has played the Sombra before, and it might be something that does affect HSL's playstyle, especially when you can get behind Chubbs quite easily, though.
Yeah.
Chubbs has been playing pretty well to get his shield in the right position at the right times.
Yeah, but the difficult part is, like, they're not afraid to run the Sombra, right? But it's also really hard to find value with the Sombra against HSL. And you're going to see WayFast just swap red back over to this the Zarya. Don't want to force a composition for too long.
No, not at all. They want to go back right now, way fast drop onto it. I mean, Hidan is still going to get a lot of pressure, and we saw him yesterday actually hit a huge... we saw a huge sleep dart yesterday from Eclipse onto EMP, which was unfortunate.
Froggy, for the time being, though, is slept. Bit of an interesting rotation from out of my game, just kind of playing footsies around that big old statue. But now they're trying to finally push onto the point, get some point presence, but Olu so very low, able to somehow escape just barely. But again, now you're seeing the split come in. Froggy split up from the rest of his team in the front line. Of course, they need... Goats needs to be all together. They need to work as a cohesive unit, and HSL are great at just cutting it up into little bitty pieces and dealing with it just like that.
Yeah, Progi, unfortunately, is getting split off, and it worked very well when they were playing the Ilios playing split, making sure the grab doesn't come through, but now you cannot get split off versus Goats composition. Olu's in the back line, he's going to take it down.
A10 finishes them off with a punch there, and Brogy just in desperation looks for the charge kill and gets melted down by Tech 36. Nanabu's tossed onto Chubbs. Not really sure if you need that here in this one fight.
I mean, at this point, Hidan gets Nanabu so very quickly.
That's true.
You can use Nanabu just aggressively, like, to win a fight, to ensure there is one. HSL Esports coming into this next fight with 5 ultimates as well as Cass. He's got the Transcendence. Chuckymum doesn't quite have the sound barrier yet, though. He's been a little bit quiet on this.
Watch A10. A10's with the Graviton Surge, and he's done great again at not having these being eaten into the pass. Might toss it onto the wall here. Chubb's gonna be caught from the grab from WayFast first, and the charge into the wall gets finished off by Cass there. Unfortunate for him now, and he died with the shatter too, so HSL is down a key crucial member. You're gonna see the Graviton Surge finally tossed in from A10 here, but there's just not enough damage to follow up on it. What a massive hit. Oh my goodness, everybody's purple, but HSL, they're gonna get shattered for the time being. Out of my game, HSL, they've done a great job because they've allowed Chubbs to get back to the front line. Beautiful stalling there, shatter tossed in, catches tools there, and WayFast as well, and they are able to finish that off. They trade back and forth here, but out of my game, they're on the point, and they secure 2 kills. HSL got to push back with a vengeance here if they want to try and turn at this point around, or if they're just looking to stall for as long as possible. Froggy gonna get slapped and anti-nated. He is the target of choice right now, and a surgical charge comes in to knock him down and flat on his back. But they still can't get the finish. Chubbs still so low, finished off finally. And now you're seeing some picks come out. Stardust dropped low as well. Tech 36 popped out of the mech by Twolls. And it will be out of my game taking the point. But the question is, when are they going to take the point? How much time will HSL burn off the clock? And it's going to be a lot.
They are feeding them ult charge at this point, though, which is going to make it very easy to get through the choke, which is the only thing that I'm worried about right now. Obviously, OMG now are about 5 ultimates, and HSL, they've only got 4 on the clock. It's still not bad. Hidan makes a switch from the Ana over the Zen. Yeah, it had to be done at this point. Really, Progi's shield just was not going down fast enough in those fights to enable A10 to just pop off with the huge amount of charge he has during these fights. But WayFast probably going to look to go for something a little bit cheeky here, try and get a grab going.
Right. Trying to do something like A10 did, maybe move into the little pub there, pop out, hit him with a grab, but he's just returning to his team for the time being. Might want a little bit more energy before he tries to engage this, or might just toss it onto the payload to make sure it's not going to get eaten. But Tech 36 here playing with the rest of the team, and Graviton Surge will not be eaten, so it's going to be a quick wipe for out of my game.
Yeah, they did find some kills here, which is going to mean that really OMG are going to play a little bit passive, and despite that, they forced 2 ultimates out of them, whereas HSL, they didn't use any.
Right. That's perfect. That's the ideal situation, because you know you're going to be walking into that fight and you're going to be losing, but now they've evened things out. They're at 4 ults on both sides.
Yeah, so this is going to be an opportunity. So usually this last point is very difficult to deal with. So HSL giving them a lot of space whilst they coalesce towards this area. Really, I'm thinking it's a big chunk.
Oh no, that's tragic. And Twolls catches A10 as well. He is able to toss in the Graviton Surge, but everybody gets shattered by Froggy. It's a big one. That's a chubby shatty right there. But Froggy, he's saying, Chubbs, listen, you hit the first one. It's my turn now. You gotta let me hit a few of these. Yeah.
It's unfortunate for HSL. They actually invested the Graviton as well as, and Tech 36 also uses self-destruct sequence. I don't know if they thought they were going to win that fight. I think Tech 36 could have technically held onto it. Now OMG coming into for 2 minutes 55. It's not quite as good as 3 minutes 20 that HSL currently have. So this third point is a great opportunity for them to store it, especially with such a good corner here to work with for the Goats composition.
Let's see what you got in your back pocket. Are you going to hit the shatter? Well, he's going to get hit with a whip shot for the time being, but knocked back, and he's able to return to the front line in his shield. Everybody's just walking past, and they have no respect for Chubbs' shield right now. He's trying to hold it up, but it's just getting melted down during the process there. Olu, with just no fear, walks right through him, and now look at the positioning.
Lay your boy out!
All bottled up. Chubbs with a big shatter. Bomb comes out to ensure that there's not going to be any follow-up, however. In HSL, they've lost their main tank now, but A10 melting people down. He will be finished off, put to rest by Twolz, and just great play from Out of My Game. They forced HSL into the corner, and then they just started bullying them.
But HSL have consistently held that payload at that choke, at that corner, and forced a load of ultimates out of HSL.
Yeah,
it's actually out of OMG. Progi actually got stunned during his shatter by Sardis there whilst he was inside, so that shadow was completely wasted as well. As this is going to give a big opportunity for HSL to hold.
Absolutely. Out of My Game has no ultimates, whereas HSL, they're coming up on a lot of theirs. A10 with the Graviton Surge, and you can farm the shatter off of that. You're going to see it toss in here. Chubbs, watch the charge on him. Started at 19, ends at 67%. That tells you how valuable it is to find that grab and have your Rhine just swinging away into it. And even though they only secure a few kills, Out of My Game knows they have to back out. They can't fight that fight.
And this is exactly what we saw from Shoes Monikrig in last game as well, is that they were pressuring the spawns in a big way. Maybe HSL are not pressuring them as much as Mao's technically would, but it's still good because it's providing them a lot of value coming to the next fight. Chubbs, he has the Chubby Shaddy coming up ready, available for him. Progi doesn't quite have his yet, and there's not only the Transcendence on board, so if you can get Cass on the floor, they can pretty much clean this fight up with just a shatter.
Oh, and down it goes, but into the shield. HSL, they've just lost one of their key trump cards, and Chubbs will go down to Olu here. Wayfast still holding onto the Graviton Surge. He has not yet needed to use it in this fight. He's most likely going to save it to try and lock members down and spawn, or wait out some of these support ultimates from the HSL. But Chalky Milk finding A10 with the boob kill. Beat dropped as well in the counter beat, but the big shatter comes in from Proggy. Wayfast tosses in the grab.
Chalky.
That. No more support ultimates for HSL. They've got nothing in the bank. A10 will swap over to the editor. Oh my goodness, FD God, what are you doing? Gets the double kill on the boop. Is it enough though? It allows A10 to return to the fight on the Hammond and able to contest for a brief moment in time. But Sardis returns to the fight on the Doomfist, finds Cass melted down by Twolz and Wayfast combined effort, but a great stall from HSL has secured overtime, and FD God with a boop there, completely crazy Chalky Milk, and almost catches Chubbs.
They're all going down the hole!
Off there. Everybody's just falling into the Omnic City down there. A10 on the point again, the Hammond spin to win strategy. Cass returning with his own Hammond. Out of My Game, they will finally cap the point, but HSL, what a crazy stall.
Nerf this.
Chalky Milk came up huge there, and FD Go was like, look man, like you can't outdo me on the Lucio. I gotta come in here and get some picks. So he gets 2.
Yeah.
It's not quite enough, but it doesn't matter. They got the overtime going now. It's 3 minutes 20
man.
to take a single tick on first point. OMG, they're in a tight position. HSL, they got to push forward and take this one cleanly. But as you've seen, HSL pretty decent on this point A.
Right. I mean, when we saw the first attack from HSL, they took it first try, right? That's why they have such a crazy time bank, because oftentimes the time that you have when you cap first point is the time that you'll have once you finish out the map. So it's so important to cap first point as soon as you possibly can. Want to save all that time bank for third, when the spawns are right there, and then you get almost like a 2 CP situation on your hands where you see crazy stalls, and we saw it right there from HSL, right? So that's the danger that comes in. But Out of My Game, they don't have quite crazy spawn advantage as perhaps they would like to have because of the nature of King's Row.
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about as well. As point A, if you don't take it quickly On top of that, you also give ult presence to the defending team.
Exactly.
So that when you do come through point B, you have to deal with Urshas, you have to deal with Gravitons, whereas usually you can almost snowball that with the little lead you do have and just take point B very quickly, just like HSL did.
Tech 36 there on the Widowmaker just for a brief
it off.
moment looking
Take
for
it
that early headshot pick, but couldn't find it. Out of my game, they're not running the Sombra this time, so it's just going to be the full Zen Goat Smear.
This is all about taking down Chubb's shield as soon as possible. It is the Zen. Yeah, A10's a bit too forward there. They do force
scrolls
the
up
high
on the
ground
floor.
though.
Yeah, that's key. And A10, just him alone forces everyone off. And Brogy just getting melted down here. You're seeing FD God get aggressive in the backline as well. And Tech 36 follows up.
What a
Team members
mortar.
down. Out of my game. What more can you do at this point, right? Maybe stall the point for as long as you can, but it won't matter. There's no chance you're turning this around. A10 juiced up, absolutely jacked on the Zarya. And just melting everybody down. HSL Esports will take King's Row. LaFawn, get yourself back in here.
Hello.
Yeah, there you are. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Reinhardt play. Specifically, I want to talk about between Chubbs and Prague. We saw the chubby shaddies, but the Reinhardt play, I want to talk about the shields. Let's talk about the shields and the pressure from both teams.
That term, dude. Oh my god. If Fatty Shaddy's bad, Chubby Shaddy might actually be worse.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Point now.
Oh my god. You know what though? You're right. The Shatters were actually a huge part of this game. Tanks in general, man, they were doing so well here. Both A10 and way fast as well. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Chubbs there, some swagger from the man, right? He comes up, he like flashes his shield to the left, and then comes right back to block the shatter. That's some confidence right there, and I really do like to see that. It's been a joy to watch, just sort of not even like analytically, but like just watching them go at each other has been a good time.
It's just these two big steel bodies ramming into each other time and time again, right? That's the Reinhardt duel. And these Reinhardts, they're really evenly matched, I gotta say. Proggy and Chubbs, they've been doing great, but part of that is they're being enabled by their tanks, of course, by their Zaryas. So let's talk about the Zaryas for a second. How have Way Fast and A10 been holding up?
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say Chubbs is enabled so much by A10 because A10 kind of plays like Caffey, right? He tosses barriers quite a lot, which means the barriers are unavailable for moments when you do actually need them. There was a moment when Chubbs got caught towards first choke and he was unable to be saved because the projected barrier just wasn't there. Because you do see how quickly A10 charges up to about 96 CPS, and sure, he does a lot with that. It just means that sometimes the survivability that does come with Zarya isn't quite there for HSL, which I definitely think the OMG can take advantage of. His personal barrier is down a lot of the time, but you also see how much pressure it affords them when you come with the first point and literally 20 seconds and A10's at 100 charge.
In fairness though to A10, it's that he had to use his projected barrier a couple of times on FD God, who was straying a little bit far forward on that Lucio. Tough to blame him for that one, but you know what? The one thing that's been really a huge thing for me is we talked about Way Fast yesterday and how good at Zarya he is, how aggressive and how charged up he gets with how much damage. One thing A10 has done really, really fantastically is look at his right clicks. He hits them every single time, and he has built a lot of ult charge off of it.
His monos are scary, that's for sure.
All right, and we're going to go to a quick break here, but we will be back after that with